Morning, sir. Murthy garu. Sir, please unmute.
Good morning, Dr. Murthy sir.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, Krishna Mohan. Good morning, sir. Ramohan garu.
Good morning, sir.
And Shikha Kambos. Is she not present?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. We have participants joining. With your permission, we would like to wait for another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, no issue.
Yes, madam. Participants are joining. So at 11 o'clock, we will see the number of participants.
Yes, ma'am.
Sonakshi.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
We have been watching your videos.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Oh, that short videos she's making.
Yes,
it.
Yes, they are made by her only.
Okay.
She is from Jharkhand. She is from Chhattisgarh.
Nice.
Thank you.
Namaste. You are also a faculty of law?
No, she completed her graduation. You tell, why should I tell you on your behalf? Sonakshi, you
Yes.
you answer this question.
I completed my BA English Honours from Amity University, and right now I am pursuing Masters in English Literature from IGNOU.
From IGNOU, okay.
Yes, sir.
Murthy garu, any updates?
దేని గురించి అప్డేట్ చేయమంటారు? కన్స్యూమర్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ యాక్ట్ సరిగా నిర్వహించలేకపోతున్న ప్రభుత్వ వైఫల్యాన్ని గురించి అప్డేట్ చేయమంటారా? విచ్ అప్డేట్ యూ వాంట్? Basing on that, I wish to inform you, updates are probably our consumer advocacy group is going on well, but for some hiccups here and there, they are bound to be there because people of different mentalities join this group. So it is very difficult for us to convince everyone. We'll have to flow with them. That is what is happening at present. But when systems are adopted strictly, then my apprehension is probably some people may leave the group.
See, you have to start looking at the beauty of the diversity.
That is right. That's what we are enjoying today.
Okay.
But that beauty should not make us ugly.
No. See, whenever there is that kind of discomfort is created,
Yes.
that becomes a challenge for you. So you start thinking of how to overcome it.
True.
So you have to welcome such kind of discomforts.
I am welcoming, sir, but how long I can do that is the present question to be answered.
So until you find the right solution, we go on erring in that. The continuity needs until we find a reasonably acceptable solution. You can never have the right solution.
Yes.
Ultimate solution. You have to see that the large, say, whenever the group is expanding, societal problems emerge. Whatever problems that are there in the society, all those will be part of the larger group. So naturally we have to, that is why the concept of majority arrived. So nowhere in the world 100% is a benchmark. Only 50% plus is the benchmark. So that universal principle resolves so many problems. Yeah, but I appreciate that your wings are expanding like anything, and every time new segments are joining in, and a lot of discussions are happening around the across the country and also beyond the country. And now our your members are exposed to the international community also. They are also organizing programs. So all these are good developments, positive developments. So what is next?
Next,
So,
actually, we are very eager to organize an international webinar. But unfortunately, the timings are different to different geographical regions.
yeah,
So when we are awake, Americans are sleeping.
certainly, that's true.
So if I want to invite somebody from United States or Canada, it is becoming highly difficult for us to suit our timings because we organize this between 11 and 1, and they are not awake.
Yeah.
It
So I
all
think you can try with Sri Lanka, you can try with Nepal.
That's what we tried once. Actually, if, taking a Nepal gentleman, we organized once, and forcefully we supplied tea and made even American and Canada people also to join one international webinar.
Mhm.
But they may happen very rarely.
Yeah, yeah. The problems, the approach, the mechanisms available, they are all different in different countries.
Yes.
We can take leads as far as the movement is concerned. How the people are getting activated, getting communicated, then what kind of speedy justice is available to them? How they could solve their problems, consumers themselves solving the problems, and to what extent the public authorities playing the role to safeguard the interests of the consumers. Those issues are important for us to learn.
Participants are requested to kindly mute their microphone.
We crossed 11 o'clock. Dr. Vaishali, madam,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
can we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir, we
We'll
can
start.
begin.
Yes.
You have some
One instruction to all the participants. So please don't send any emojis. Please mute your mics because at the end of the webinar, we are going to have the answer session. So along with that, you can drop your questions in the chat box. But please maintain the decency of this online platform. Yes, Sakrakar ma'am, please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome one and all to this one-day national webinar on consumer rights in digital and global market, organized by Rayat Shikshan Sanstha's Ismailsaheb Mulla Law College, Satara, in association with the Consumer Advocacy Group. In today's fast-paced market, where goods and services are increasingly purchased both offline and online, consumer awareness and protection has become more important than ever. Every consumer has a right to safety, information, choice, and to be heard. Yet many people are still unaware of the mechanisms available to safeguard their own rights. This webinar has been organized with the aim of creating greater awareness about the consumer rights, the responsibilities of businesses, and the legal frameworks that ensure fair trade practices. Through today's session, we hope to provide valuable insights into common consumer issues recent developments in consumer law, and the practical steps individuals can take when their rights are violated. We are honored to have distinguished speakers and experts with us today who will share their expertise and knowledge on these important aspects. Their perspectives will definitely help us understand consumer protection laws, how they function, and how they empower the individuals in the marketplace. I encourage all the participants to kindly take active participation in this session for everybody's knowledge and greater awareness. Participants are also requested to keep their microphones muted during the session to avoid the background noise. Videos may remain off unless the instructors ask you to do so. Questions may be asked through the chat box, or we have also organized a question and answer session at the end of the entire webinar. And I request everybody to please stay attentive during that time as well. The participants must submit their feedback to receive the e-certificates, which will be provided on their registered email IDs within a period of 1 working week. I would now like to invite Professor Dr. Vaishali Zada, Principal Ismailsaheb Mulla Law College, Satara, to welcome our esteemed speakers and participants for this webinar. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, Professor Sakwakar, ma'am. I hope I am clearly audible.
Perfectly, ma'am.
Yes. Good morning, a very warm good morning to all the distinguished participants. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this national webinar on consumer rights in the digital and global market on behalf of our Shikshan Sanstha, Ismailsaheb Mulla Law College and Consumer Advocacy Group, a pan-India association. I extend a cordial welcome to Dr. PVVS Murthy sir, founder and a consumer right activist, founder of the Consumer Advocacy Group, our esteemed resource person, Professor Dr. K. Ramamohana Rao, sir, former Vice Chairman, Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education, Mr. Krishna Mohan KS, Admin and Editor, Newsletter of CAG, that is a Consumer Advocacy Group, Dr. Shikha Kamboj ma'am, Senior Assistant Professor, Faculty of Law, University of Delhi, and all the participating academicians and senior faculties, the students, researchers across the various colleges and institutions, India, advocates, legal professionals, social workers, and policymakers who have joined us today in this webinar. Little bit about our institute, that is Ismailsaheb Mulla Law College. It is located at Satara in the state of Maharashtra, which has been established in the year 1968. And since then, it has been dedicated to provide a quality legal education under the esteemed guidance of our parent institute, that is Rayat Shikshan Sanstha, which is founded by the renowned and a visionary social reformer and educationist Karmavir Bahurao Patil, alias Anna. Now, the college presently offers various undergraduate programs, LLB 3-year course and a 5-year course BLLB, along with the PG, that is an LLM degree, and various diploma and certificate courses catering over to the needs of more than 750 students. All our staff and the students, they are dedicated to the academic excellence and research advancement. The campus is as well integrated with the ICT, tools for effective teaching, learning, and the digital literacy. The college continues to uphold its mission of spreading legal awareness, promoting social justice, and nurturing competent legal professionals. And with this only, we have come with this present webinar. Now, about the background behind conducting this webinar. Now, all of us know that in the present era of the rapid digital transformation and the global trade, the landscape of consumer transactions, they have significantly changed. For example, the online marketplaces, the digital payment system, or even the cross-border e-commerce to the various platforms and the technology-driven services. Now, they have created, no doubt, unprecedented opportunities for the consumers. However, at the same time, they have also introduced complex challenges relating to the data privacy, that is a data protection, obviously misleading advertisement, though for that purpose, the Consumer Protection Act of 1986 has been substituted by the Act of 2019. But we keep on hearing about the cyber frauds, unfair trade practices, and obviously the question is there about the enforcement of the consumer protection law across the various jurisdictions. And it is in this context, the theme of today's webinar, I think it is both timely and highly relevant, again on the occasion of upcoming World Consumer Rights Day, which is observed every year on 15th of March across the globe. Now, why do we celebrate these days? So, for example, the 15th March, which we are going to celebrate, now this global event, it serves as an important reminder, obviously, to promote and protect the basic rights of consumers and to ensure fair, transparent, and ethical practices in the marketplace. It also encourages not only the governments, institutions, like our educational institutions or the civil societies, to work collectively towards strengthening the consumer awareness and empowerment, but also to create the, we can say, the consumer literacy. With this objective, our institution came in contact with veteran professional scholar who holds a strong ethical orientation, Dr. Murthy sir, who is a founder of this consumer advocacy group and who is contributing voluntarily over such a long period of time. Now, not by any kind of incentive, but by commitment to knowledge, to public service, and legacy building. And under his valuable guidance, today we are conducting this webinar in collaboration with Consumer Advocacy Group. A bit about Dr. Murthy sir. Sir is an experienced and energetic consumer rights activist. He's having an 20 years of industrial experience and 18 years of, rather more than 18 years of teaching experience. He has served as a member of District Consumer Forum, Vijayawada, for a period of 10 years and has contributed significantly, is contributing significantly to the consumer justice and awareness. Sir is a prolific author with 28 books to his credit, including the 2 books which are published by the IIPS, that is an Indian Institute of Public Administration, on behalf of the Government of India. Being the founder of this strong consumer advocacy group and Pan-Asia, and again, right now we were just hearing the discussions about conducting the international programs also, takes pro bono initiatives to bring together the members from all the states of Maharashtra and international as well, again promoting consumer awareness and advocacy. So today's webinar deliberations with this theme, that is consumer rights in the digital and global market, it obviously provides an excellent opportunity for all of us to exchange ideas, share research insights, and deliberate on regulatory and international legal framework that safeguard the consumer interest and personal information. Webinar aims to ensure that the consumer remains informed, empowered, and protected, particularly in an increasingly interconnected present economy. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Consumer Advocacy Group and our distinguished resource person who have graciously accepted our invitation to share their valuable knowledge and expertise. Your insights will undoubtedly enrich our understanding of emerging issues and contemporary developments in the consumer protection. I also commend the organizing committee and all those who have worked diligently to make this webinar possible. All the efforts in bringing together such a diverse and knowledgeable gathering obviously deserves the special appreciation. To all the participants and especially our students, young researchers and academicians, I encourage you to actively engage in the discussions, but obviously at the specified time, that is at the end of the webinar through the question and answer session, so that we can make the use of this technological platform and make this learning opportunity more engaging. So with these words, I once again extend my heartfelt welcome to each one of you and wish this webinar a great success. Thank you. Over to you, Sakwakar ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your warm welcome. I would now like to invite Dr. PBDS Murthy, founder, CAD, and consumer rights activist, who will briefly introduce the organizing group and share the vision and objectives behind hosting this webinar. Sir, over to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Vaishali, for your nice introduction. Good morning, learned speakers, respectable faculty members and participants. Let me at the outset thank Ismailsaheb, Mulla Law College Management for jointly organizing our 89th national webinar today. I am delighted to note that many participants from various colleges registered. I appreciate the efforts of the organizers to involve good number of students and faculty members in this awareness program. I wish to say a few words about Consumer Advocacy Group, which is doing a human service in educating and protecting consumers. Its tireless and relentless efforts are not only empowering the public with awareness, but also safeguarding the rights and interests. In Consumer Advocacy Group was formed in 2017 with just 50 members, with a very few female members. Later, we significantly increased the strength of women and youth in the group to become majority. Today, our group strength is around 2,500 members, representing all federal states in India and 15 foreign countries. There are good number of students in our group, and we conducted an online certificate course in advocacy for the final year LLB students without charging any fee. We may take a second batch of students from law this year, depending on the demand. We wish to conduct another online course for the benefit of business management students later. Every month, we are conducting a national webinar with the support of a college in India. We are happy to say that we have 14 serving vice chancellors and few retired vice chancellors in our group. We have hundreds of faculty members as our resource persons. Periodically, we represent consumer problems to the Government of India after discussion in the think tank group we formed. I may be allowed to say a few words on the plight of consumers world over, particular reference to India. Organizers appropriately selected the theme Consumer Rights in view of the upcoming World Consumer Rights Day. You are all aware that consumers are losing crores of rupees. I repeat, crores of rupees in cyber frauds and also in healthcare. Insurance companies are trying to repudiate claims instead of assuring support to the policyholders. Central Consumer Protection Authority is not fully functional. Justice delivery system is crippled with delays. Though consumers are the kingpin for the economic growth, they are not given any importance while protecting their interests. Consumer Welfare Fund is a classic example for it. Protection of rural consumers has become a myth. I call upon consumers to be more assertive and try to put pressure on the regulators, at least to perform their duties properly to reach the last mile. I do not wish to stand between you and the learned speakers for a long time. You will be listening to our eminent members of our group, Professor Ram Mohan Rao, former Vice Chancellor of former chairman of AP Higher Education Council, also former Vice Chancellor of Krishna University, Dr. Shekha Kambos from Delhi University, and Mr. K.S. Krishna Mohan, my colleague in the consumer movement. Before concluding my assignment, I request the participants to join Consumer Advocacy Group and strengthen our benevolent efforts, which in turn strengthen you. Just send a message to 98490 82333. I repeat, 98490 82333 to join the group. I profusely thank once again Ismailsaheb, Mulla Law College Administration, particularly Professor Vaishali Jadhav, Principal, for facilitating this joint national webinar. Thank you. Over to the moderator.
Thank you so much, sir, for the informative introduction to the Consumer Advocacy Group and for sharing its vision, initiatives, and the important work being carried out. We truly appreciate your insights and the context you have provided for today's webinar. It is now my privilege to invite Professor Dr. K. Raman Mohana Rao, former Vice Chairman, Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education, Government of Andhra Pradesh, to deliver the keynote address for today's webinar. Before I give the podium to him, I would like to kindly go ahead and introduce Sir. Professor Dr. K. Mohana Rao is a distinguished academician in the field of commerce and management. Sir has completed his master's degree in commerce and management from Andhra University and earned his PhD in the year 1987. He began his career as a lecturer in 1982 and later served as a professor and senior professor at Andhra University until his retirement in the year 2020. A specialist in marketing management and services marketing, Sir has guided 31 PhD scholars, authored 12 books, and published 91 research papers. He has also held several key administrative positions, including Vice Chancellor FSC of Krishna University, Registrar of Andhra University, and he has been an NAC assessor as well. Professor Rao has received several prestigious awards, including the Times Now National Education Leadership Award in the year 2013. He has also further received an award, which is the State Best Teacher Award from the Government of Andhra Pradesh 2015, and multiple national awards for academic excellence and social responsibility as well. So we'll share valuable insights on the importance of consumer protection and evolving challenges faced by the consumers in today's marketplace. We are honored to have you, sir, on today's webinar. Over to you.
Good morning, all of you. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. First of all, I would like to appreciate the excellent effort that is made by Ismailsaheb Mulla Law College, Satara, in organizing a wonderful national webinar on a very, very important theme, contemporary theme, that is consumer rights in digital and global markets. Equally appreciate the consumer advocacy group, particularly the founder, PVVS Murthy. I know him for quite a long period and witnessed the zeal that he has and the activism he promotes in consumer education as well as consumer activity. And one important achievement as far as my opinion is concerned, that every month the consumer advocacy group is connecting with one college across the country and also away from the country, and making all the members at least realize once in a month they are also responsible consumers. So that is one significant contribution of the CAG, apart from discussing various issues of contemporary relevance. I congratulate the principal Vaishali madam for all the pains that she has taken in organizing this one, and I welcome along with others the other resource persons. Mr. Krishna Mohan is equally very keen in promoting consumer movement, and then Dr. Shikha Kambos from Delhi University, and the faculty of the Law College Satara, and particularly the student friends who joined this webinar. So this is relating to the consumer rights and how those rights are being protected by the system, whatever system that is prevalent. So whenever we are talking about a system and the protection, definitely we have to take into consideration the contemporary relevance of that. So that part is very aptly identified, that the digital and global market scenario, which is transforming the world and making it more dynamic, and everybody is getting surprised with the kind of advancements that are happening in the technology field. So let me begin with the period in which there is no consumer movement, there are no consumer rights. There is no effort, serious effort that is made to protect the consumers. So that is the pre-90s. So before 20th century, all the countries in the world have only local markets, and trade is confined to the local areas. And the trade is such a factor. It is the first form of non-production activity, a facilitating service that emerged out of the exchange activities that are used to take place in the system in a barter mode. So then the trader emerged as a creative person where the connectivity and networking and facilitation is the key element. So the trader slowly observed the communication gap between the producer and the consumer. And this person became the only contact person between the two. And the gap found an opportunity to exploit in trade. So that kind of thought process, the attitude change, that created the problems to the consumers, problems to the producer, and the traders became richer than both the parties, both the producer as well as the consumer, by exploiting the gap that is there. So trade always, right from the beginning, excepting a few years in the beginning period, they worked on how to exploit the market. So that is the culture of the trade. That is the traders believe as the principle of the trade. And it is going on, going on, going on. Whenever you try to make certain breaks, they will try to innovate new ways of reaching their goals. So the consumer exploitation is not a declared goal, but it is a part of the trade practice. So we have to understand that. So the trade helped many economies to grow faster and faster. So nobody tried to control the trade and then simply said that you buyer, you beware of buying it. So caveat emptor principle has come, and it continued for decades, that transferring the burden of protecting to the consumer himself or herself. So while making purchase, you beware of it. Otherwise, there is no issue that so willingly you have made a purchase, that is your job. But this scenario changed from minor exploitation to major exploitations when industrial revolution took place, which led to mass production. Mass production contributed for increased defects. Adulteration entered. It is not just exploiting the communication gap, but also impacting the production products that are produced by the producer genuinely, but the middleman started adulterating it. And then with the manipulative communications, by making some misleading claims, they started conditioning the consumer to buy the products and services. This is the development after industrial revolution. But there is one very good attempt that is made, particularly in the country. This Kautilya wrote an administrative manual for the government that is called Arthashastra. The Arthashastra dealt with on consumer protection and controlling the exploitation of the traders. So in that volume, very strict penalties for adulteration and cheating were suggested. So that is the first document or first book where some caution is given to the government, ruling king or somebody, to control the traders and do justice to the consumers from this cheating and adulteration. So we have at that point, it is more of a moral based regulation than a statutory protection. So this is the pre-independent period developments. So after the 20th century, across the globe, caveat emptor is the principle followed. But in India, we could able to have the trade ethics dealt in Arthashastra. The major development after started consumer movement in the United States of America, it is John F. Kennedy in 1962. He declared some consumer rights. So that is the beginning for identifying and disseminating the rights of the consumers, and the governments across the world started thinking about the consumer rights. That I will discuss later. In 85, one more development that took place, that the United Nations have come out with guidelines to all the member countries, the way in which they have to protect the consumer interests. And accordingly, in India, the Consumer Protection Act 1986, a comprehensive legislation, a benevolent legislation, a breakthrough legislation enacted by the government of India. After 2000, that is in 21st century, internationally, many countries have come out with the digital consumer laws. India also came out with the IT Act and e-commerce rules. And in 2019, the digital regulation has come. That is, for us, again, the CPA 2019 that expanded the scope of CPA 1986. So digital regulation got expanded in 2019 and the Consumer Protection Act modified. The consumer rights, John F. Kennedy addressed the US Congress in 62 and articulated 4 basic consumer rights: right to safety, right to information, right to choice, and right to be heard. So these are the breakthrough rights proposed by John F. Kennedy and that were approved there. In 1985, as I told you, a union guidelines on consumer protections have come, and there 3 more rights are added. That is right to consumer education, right to redressal, and right to healthy environment. So UN guidelines provided for physical safety of products and services, protection of consumers' economic interests, that the consumers products and services, standards for safety and quality of consumer goods and services should be established by the respective governments, government mechanisms, distribution facilities for essential goods and services. So UN guidelines says that it is the state responsibility to create facilities for distribution so that the access can be created to the consumers across the globe for essential goods and essential services. Then another provision is measures enabling consumers to obtain redressal. So this is a wonderful addition for the consumer rights, right to redressal. Until then, only the erring traders who were caught used to be punished. But the consumer who got a suffering was left without any but the redressal has created that kind of facility. Now the consumers, whatever loss they have incurred, if they complain and provide the adequate evidence to the respective bodies, then they can get the compensation back and they will be having some justice for the problem that they have faced. And one more thing is education and information programs. So consumer education, consumer information programs have to be organized by the state in the sense the member countries widely, so that consumers gets aware of what their rights are, which areas they have to focus upon, how they can verify a product, whether it is appropriate, suitable or not, qualitative or not, and again the services also. The measures related to specific water and pharmaceuticals, which are considered to be essentials, so there also specific guidelines, specific orders need to be issued by the member countries. So these are the provisions of the UN guidelines, very comprehensively addressed and communicated to all the member countries. In spite of all this, the consumers across the world are facing innumerable problems, particularly after the digital revolution has taken place. As you all aware, people are unable to understand where they are going, moving forward, and what is the ultimate landing of this kind of fast-paced upward movement of technological developments. So we don't know when, where the AI will take us, where AI take the entire world and economy. This is quite unimaginable for the people like us and even for the youngsters. So very fast the things are happening. And e-commerce platforms 20 years back, very new, and people suspected whether this will survive or not. When Amazon entered into the market, that was a big failure. They could not able to make the consumers convince the e-platforms. So now it became an essential platform for the entire world. Reached the unreached earlier. So e-commerce platforms became universal, reaching to all nooks and corners of the world, and became a market, a viable market for everybody. So that is one thing which every one of us to realize. So almost it parallelly developed a market from the physical market and growing much faster than the physical market. And again, digital payment ecosystem. People suspected that a country like India can ever become a digital payment platform and an ecosystem of that kind can exist in the country with this kind of vast distribution of the people and different dynamics, rural, urban, and all that. But I don't know whether we have to thank the corona or not, but the digital payment system became a reality now, and it also reached across the country, across the world, and every street level vendor or even individual is having the system where the digital payment system is working, and it is growing very fast and it is dominating the entire transaction space. And cross-border online trade, cross-border trade got a boosting when the World Trade Organization has come, opened up the borders of various countries for trade, and influenced the trade regulation across the world. And now the online became very easy. Their physical movement became a problem earlier. Establishment of offices, establishment of the people, production units, and all that. But now the online trade became a reality. Supply chain and logistics management became a very, very, say, dominant area for every country to promote, strengthen, and make it a convenient process for the consumers and the system. So cross-border online trade is dominating and growing fast. And the platform economy dominance, as I told you, that these systems, e-commerce, digital payments, online cross-border trade, all these are dominating the trade of any economy and playing an important role in the economy. So that is why the people are focusing more on that. And another important area, that is data-driven consumer profiling. So you are known now to the people whom you don't know. We don't know who are knowing us. So millions of people are aware of your presence, your behavior, your likes, your preferences, your thought process, your economic status, your behavioral patterns. All these are possible because of the data that is getting generated, the algorithms that are being used, and the artificial intelligence that is there, data analytics that are developed. So now the consumer is better understood by the traders. This understanding goes in two ways. One is to benefit the consumer more, and another is to exploit the consumer more. So this data-driven consumer profile is another important development. So looking at all these things, the government of India, even before the Consumer Protection Act came out with a few very important acts. Sale of Goods Act 1930 is one very, very powerful act came out. Indian Contract Act 1872, Essential Commodities Act, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, and MRTPC, Monopolies Restrictive Trade Practices Commission. So all these came out, and many more package commodities are there. So much standardization related acts. So they came out, but it became to the consumer whenever he wanted to ventilate his what you call a problem, address it through, then they have to necessarily approach the court of law. The litigation became costly, it became time consuming, and there were no specialized consumer forums. That is why, though there were acts restricting the trade practice, unfair trade practices, but actually in translating into the outcomes, we had a very poor results. Then came COPRA 1986, and it created a three-tier consumer courts, district forum, state commission, and national commission. So in access to the consumer on an exclusive platform, the consumer courts deal with consumer problems only, not other problems. So it is a specialized forum court, and the consumers are provided facility without any cost. And the speciality of these forums are there is a time limit prescribed for delivering justice to the consumers, depending upon the case that is filed there and the amount involved in the case. So that kind of facilitation is given. So simple, inexpensive redressal mechanism is created. And as per the guidelines of the UN guidelines, the Consumer Protection Act recognizes 6 consumer rights. The COPRA 2019 came addressing all the gaps, limitations that are there in the COPRA 1986. So COPRA 1986, where the forums delivered judgments, but they are not having the powers to implement the judgments. So that facility was not given. And there was no mention of e-commerce or direct selling, which was made a very specific inclusion in the definition of the consumer itself in COPRA 2019. This is the reality. That is why let us focus more on this. The establishment of Central Consumer Protection Authority. Murthy garu was saying that even the authority is not doing anything. They have suo motu powers and recall powers that were given to them. But of course, the authority has to be appointed by the government. Then the choices, everything, that is a different story, which let us not get into it. Regulation of unfair trade practices, wherein the misleading advertisements, data privacy, and dark patterns in the market, they were included, in addition to the unfair trade practices that are listed out in 1986 COPRA. Product liability is another definition that is given in COPRA 2019. If a product bought online causes harm due to a defect, you can now sue the manufacturer, service provider, and even the seller. Earlier, the seller used to take shelter, but now the COPRA 2019 included the seller also. Digital service providers such as food suppliers are also included. So they cannot claim that whatever that is given by the producer, we deliver to you only, that is why we are not responsible. So that is also provided here. So simplified dispute redressal, particularly e-dakhil. You can raise a complaint through email. Jurisdiction that you can sit at home and do it, complain, you need not verify under which region the court is established, where to go and all that. You need not even go to the court, and you are permitted that you can put your argument heard by the council or the group of members of forums through video conferencing. Mediation is another contribution here. So between the aggrieved parties, mediation is also permitted here. So this is a wonderful legislation that came out addressing all important things. So if you compare 1986 and 2019, e-commerce is newly covered. No central regulator earlier, now CCPA has come. Complaint filing where the seller is located earlier, now where the consumer resides. Misleading ads, earlier there was no strict penalties given. Now heavy fines and ban for endorses is given. Mediation is the new facility that is created at the consumer courts. So this is the difference. So in spite of all these things, people are experiencing so many offenses digitally. E-commerce frauds, every one of us experiencing at different degrees. Data privacy violations are seriously happening. Somebody calls us, we don't know how they got our numbers, and they got the information that we are looking for XYZ. We don't know. Algorithmic manipulations that say if you are looking one, there will be many things supporting that kind of information will be fed into. You will be given manipulating informations and endorsements, and all that is happening. Cross-border disputes resolution became a problem because there is no international platform to address cross-border disputes. So the consumers are needed protection for data exploitation, algorithmic transparency, cross-border redressal, platform accountability. So now the old days buyer beware became a platform beware. So that is the development with the digital markets. Digital abuse of consumers, that means deceptive, manipulating and harmful practices conducted through digital interfaces and algorithms. As of 2026, this has evolved from simple phishing to sophisticated dark patterns and digital arrests that exploit human psychology. So there is a huge shift from the material exploitation to psychological exploitation. One such thing is subscription traps, making it incredibly easy to sign up for a service, but nearly impossible to cancel. So the Federal Trade Commission sued Amazon for its Project Iliad, a design strategy intentionally made to complicate the prime cancellation process. So this is one example for subscription traps. Algorithmic price discrimination, using consumer data to charge different prices for the same product based on the user device. We all experienced that if somebody books a Uber through iPhone, you will get a different price. Through Android based phone, you will get a different price. And in one location, you have one price, in another location, you have another price. So the consumer database, the location, the device used, the person biography, the person's biodata, they are used to charge prices. The consumers do not know that they are being charged more, but actually it is happening. Studies in EU have shown travel sites frequently fluctuate prices based on whether a user is browsing from an iPhone versus an Android device. That is happening. Deep fake fraud, using synthetic media to impersonate CEOs, family members, to authorize fraudulent transfers. So AI now is doing so much of nonsense in the market. A multinational firm lost $25 million after an employee was tricked into a video call where all other colleagues were AI-generated deepfakes. So an environment is created where you believe that all the people are known people, and they are advising you, they are asking you, they are influencing you, but you do that. So this is the kind of deepfake fraud is happening. In India, recently we see particularly the digital arrest. Day in and day out, in spite of the news items covered in many media, print as well as electronic media, the digital arrests are still happening. The government started coming out with a lot of communication campaign against digital arrests, but still it is happening. The fraudsters pose as a law enforcement agency like CBI, Customs, police. Even personally, I got 4 or 5 calls like this via video. Of course, now I got only on phone, not on video, claiming the victim's ID was used for illegal activities. They keep victims on a digital arrest, monitored video call for hours and days to exact money. Recently, we came to know that one doctor's family, both wife and husband, were cheated in Delhi for 14 crores. So that was a very serious problem. And really, according to rough estimate, more than 20,000 crores were exploited by the fraudsters through these digital arrests across the country in 2005 and 2006. An 86-year-old woman in Mumbai lost 20.25 crores in a scam lasting for December 24 to March 25. You see how many months they kept her under control. Scammers used AMR for courtrooms and fake official documents to sustain the arrest. This is an area where seriously we all have to think about. Dark patterns in e-commerce, manipulative UI and UX designs that trick users into unintended actions. Basket sneaking, where extra items are added to a cart automatically. So you will be getting into making, and you don't know what is happening, but finally you will lose the game. The Central Consumer Protection Authority issued notices to major platforms like Amazon, Flipkart for using forced actions and subscription traps to push Prime or Plus memberships. Abuse of dominance, data privacy. Large tech firms leveraging user data to stifle competition and limit consumer choices. So over 200 crore rupees for its 21 privacy policy, Space was the Competition Commission of India fined Meta over 200 crore for its 2021 privacy policy update, which made data sharing with Facebook mandatory and take it or leave it abuse of its dominant market position. So that is also happened. So when we compare India and international as far as the protection of consumers from the digital fraud areas, India basically focusing on financial fraud and social engineering. But as far as international scenario is concerned, they are focusing more on privacy, dark patterns, and antitrust. we have Consumer Protection Act 2095 and 2019 and DPDP Act 2023. Internationally, GDPR, EU is there, Digital Markets Act, that is also came out with the European Union, Federal Trade Commission Act of USA, which is considered to be very, very powerful commission against the frauds that are being done against to the consumers. Enforcement style is police-led cyber cells and CCPA guidelines for us. But in the international scenario, we have heavy regulatory fines and class action lawsuits are filed. Excuse me. Ambuti garu? Yeah. Close చేయటమే కదా? Hello. Yeah. So I would like to conclude this presentation by making some statements like digital revolution is at its peak in the world. We are unable to imagine the trade without digital interface. Now the entire world is like this. Legal provisions and regulatory frameworks are not capable of arresting digital offenses against consumers as the markets are increasingly dynamic. So we take the legal provisions and regulatory frameworks, taking the historical happenings into mind, but the markets are becoming more and more dynamic. So the changes should be so periodic, quick, and we should strengthen these provisions and frameworks. Social media is fast losing its credibility for truthfulness after AI invasion and Reels popularity. Consumer rights are comprehensive, but who will provide protection cannot be answered properly. Consumer awareness through credible means, that is what I believe, which corrects the process, is that credible means, through credible means we have to provide consumer awareness. So there is a lot of education campaign that is going on. There also the indirect trade involvement is visible. Consumers are misguided, misled through social influencers. So that is why we have to be careful about which information to be taken, which should not be. So credible means development and identification is very important. International law on consumer protection is important. So to address the cross-border trade problems and offenses against consumers, a close watch on market practices by independent international and national bodies, that is another solution I am proposing. Compulsory consumer education right from schooling to higher education, and severe penalties and punishments for the erring business firms and traders, domestic as well as international, are some of the measures needed to protect consumer rights. So in this scenario, and I take the opportunity to thank the law college Satara for the opportunity given to me, and the consumer advocacy group, particularly PVVS Murthy garu, for a continued interaction and making us many times realize our responsibility of entering into the consumer arena and looking forward for some kind of activism going on, interacting with students. Whenever we interact with students, some part of it definitely is comprising of consumer education. So thank you very much for the opportunity given.
Thank you so much, sir, for your elaborate address. It is now my pleasure to invite our first resource speaker, Mr. Krishna Mohan KS, Admin Consumer Advocacy Group, who will guide us through today's topic on United Nations guidelines on consumer protection and will also share his valuable insights and practical perspectives on the consumer protection. To give a brief introduction about Sir, Sir serves as the admin and newsletter editor of the Consumer Advocacy Group. Professionally, Sir works as a multidisciplinary projects consultant for several process and manufacturing industries across the country. His areas of specialization include computer-aided design, automation, solid and liquid waste management, recycling projects, and water purification. Sir has studied selected recycling projects in Thailand as well. In addition, he is also a freelance writer, life skill trainer, passionate photographer, and a consumer activist. More than 60 years of his online feature articles have been published in the Keynote, a very popular newspaper. Some of his photographs have received awards and have also appeared in various newspapers. So currently serves as the member of AID Mangalagiri. He is also a member of District Consumer Protection Council, NCR District Government of Andhra Pradesh. As a state resource person for the Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Sir has provided training to teachers in charge of nearly 6,000 consumer classes in the government schools and 250 government junior colleges of the state. As an active consumer activist, he has presented one research paper at an international conference and two papers at the national level conference. We are grateful to have Sir on our webinar today and look forward to an enlightening session. Over to you, Sir.
Please allow me to share the presentation. Is the presentation visible?
No.
Not really, Sir.
One second. Visible?
No, Sir.
No? All right.
No, Sir. The screen is
No,
not
sir, it
visible.
is not visible.
Sorry.
Please send it to me so that I can send it to the organizers.
Okay. I think it's visible now.
Yes.
May I go ahead?
Please.
Thank you. Actually, this is a young boy, a school-going boy. His father bought him a school bag, a brand new school bag online he has purchased. And day one, as he was going to the school, the straps have snapped, they tore, the books fell, and a vehicle passing by have actually gone over it. So the boy as well as the father, they were restless. They do not know where to complain and how to go ahead and how to get a replacement because they purchased it online. Now imagine if the same bag has been purchased in a store where they could actually have a hands-on feeling, touch, and select the proper bag. That would have been much better. So therefore, wherever possible, when you are purchasing goods like these, if they are available in a local physical shop, preferably try to purchase it there so that you can have trust, tangibility, and accountability rather than the digital markets. And this is one of the reasons the United Nations Consumer Protection Guidelines really matter. So today we are going to discuss the global principles and the local relevance of the United Nations guidelines on consumer protection. A very good morning to all of you, and welcome to this session. The UN guidelines did not really emerge overnight. They reflect the decades of evolving awareness, from basic product safety to the complexities of digital commerce, as Professor Rammohan Rao sir was already discussing. Adopted in 1985, expanded in 1999, everything from sustainability to online fraud. This evolution shows how the consumer protection must adapt to changing markets and the technologies. These objectives form the backbone of the United Nations guidelines for consumer protection. They are not just aspirational, they guide how the countries should shape the laws, empower the consumers, and regulate the markets. Whether it is preventing fraud or promoting fair pricing, these goals ensure that the consumer protection is both ethical and effective. These are the 6 pillars which define what every consumer deserves: safety, truth, fairness, education, justice, and privacy. Therefore, they are not just ideals, they are actionable rights that governments and businesses must definitely uphold. Whether it is a rural buyer or an online shopper, these needs remain universal. These are the principles which are very powerful, but the implementation is the key, always, as usual. These measures help translate the United Nations guidelines into action, from legal frameworks to education, from advertising to international collaboration, whether it is local consumer court or the global e-commerce dispute. These tools make protection real.
So sorry for interruption. Are you moving the slides?
Yes? Is it not moving?
Okay, that is not visible then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It is on the first slide only.
Still on the first slide? Oh,
Yes.
I don't know. It is moving on my system. May I continue, or shall we just go try that? What do you want me to do?
Yes, sir.
Madam,
Continue.
please, shall I continue?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. I'll just at least read out what is on the, because I was on the impression that the slide was visible, so I was just explaining what is there. Okay.
I suggest you to close down the sharing
Okay.
so that you can do it from your computer.
Yes. Okay.
Now it is moving.
Now it's moving. Okay. 1 minute, sir. You are able to see the consumer rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Let me continue. So now that we have looked at the practical measures for the implementation, we will now look into the different rights provided for the consumers: the safety, economic interest, information, redressal, sustainability, and education. Now, there are some key challenges in the consumer protection, and despite strong guidelines, challenges persist. From online scams to unsafe goods, from misleading ads to AI driven risks, which Professor Ramon Rao has already discussed thoroughly, Consumer protection must evolve rapidly. These issues depend smarter regulation uh, and global cooperation and empowered consumers. So, consumer protection guidelines, there are some major stakeholders, and we are going to discuss their role now. The consumer protection is shared responsibility. It is not belonging to only the governments or the consumers. So, since it is a shared responsibilities, the governments set the rules, businesses follow them, consumer groups will create awareness and keep watching them, and the international bodies ensure the global alignment. Because now, since it is a global trade that is going on, they need to align with the global standards. When these stakeholders collaborate, all the consumers can thrive. Now, when it comes to the alignment, every country has to align their policies or their protection acts in line with the consumer protection guidelines provided by the United Nations. India has aligned strongly with the United Nations principles. The 2019 Act provides a modern legal backbone. The CCPA enforces the compliance. E-commerce rules protect the digital buyers, and the awareness programs ensure citizens know their rights. Together, these measures reflect India's commitment to global standards. Now, coming to some of the success stories of the United Nations Consumer Protection Guidelines, uh, India's e-commerce crackdown to South Africa's mobile reforms, these stories show how the consumer protection can be bold, effective, and global. They are not just policies, they are progress. Now, coming to the future of the consumer protection, because we are all living in a very fast changing pace of a dynamic society and the dynamic platforms that are coming up. So now the consumer protection is also dynamic. As the AI and global commerce evolve, so must our safeguards. So the safeguarding systems also should evolve along with these global commerce platforms. We need smarter policies, stronger cross-border redressal systems, and empowered digital citizens. Unless all the citizens, all the consumers are well aware of all the frauds that are happening, it is very difficult for the enforcing agencies to actually uh, provide protection or even do some redressal. Thus, the United Nations guidelines are not just a compass, but innovation is our path forward. So, every one of us should be aware of it, and it is our responsibility as a consumer to understand the entire landscape of consumer protection that is available and make sure they protect themselves. So, what all of us as consumers need to do. So, this is the call to action uh, for the for all the consumers. First and foremost, we need to collaborate across the cross borders for stronger togetherness, because all the trade is happening across the borders, and we need to empower the consumers and apply their voices. The United Nations guidelines gives the framework, but it's up to each one of us to actually act upon them and protect ourselves. We can together we can all empower the consumers, strengthen the collaboration, and shape the future where markets serve the people first. So the key takeaways today from the discussion that we had about the United Nations Consumer Protection Guidelines are that AI and the technology regulations, because these technology and the AI keep on evolving and they are evolving so fast. To keep pace with them, we need to, as consumers, we need to safeguard ourselves by understanding these regulations. Then we need to ensure, every country has to ensure these cross-border redressal systems, uh, then data-driven policy, informing better decisions. And as youth, all of you definitely have a responsibility for digital literacy, to pass on all this information to not only your friends and family, but to as many people as possible. Thus, we'll be able to empower the next generation and all these consumers at large. So I thank the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share a few thoughts on the United Nations guidelines uh, for consumer protection. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful presentation on United Nations guidelines on consumer protection. Your explanation of the principles and the significance in strengthening the consumer rights and promoting fair trade practices has been truly enlightening. We sincerely appreciate you sharing your knowledge and expertise with us today. Now, I take this opportunity to invite our next resource person, Dr. Shikha Kamboj, Assistant Professor Senior, Faculty of Law, University of Delhi, who will broaden our knowledge on the topic data protection of the consumers. To give a
Has
brief
Shika
introduction,
Kamposh joined, madam?
Yes, actually, she has messaged me that she had joined, but that only I was just going to confirm. Dr. Shikha, ma'am, are you here? Have you joined the meeting? Just a minute. I'll give a call.
Otherwise, we can conduct some questions now.
Yes.
Meanwhile, she may join. We'll have to make up the gap, you know.
Yes, yes. There is a question in the chat box. Yes, Sakwakar madam, please take that question. Meanwhile, I'll contact Shikha ma'am.
sure, ma'am. Yes. Any questions from the participants? Somebody had just raised their hand till the time we address the questions from the chat box. Okay. Okay, the
There
first
is one
question
question
was
in
from
the
Mr. Ganesh Jagta.
Yeah.
The question is addressed as follows. If the insurance company, like Shriram Fortune, gives false advertisement or commitment and they make a policy, can we file FIR under 318 subsection 4 for cheating? Yes, anyone from the eminent panel can please answer the question raised by Ganesh sir.
I think the participant Ganesh Jagtap is there. You want
Yes,
to repeat the question? Yes.
ma'am. Actually, I have taken the Serum Fortune policy. During the taking policy, his commitment something, and actually, given policy is not executed according to commitment. So, can I file the FIR against this company?
You need not file an FIR. Actually, when civil litigation is there very much, why do you want to go for FIR and all? You can approach Consumer Commission. When the
Yes, I was already approached, but they said there is no proper remedy. Only will take 25% or 40% refund on around your policy amount.
what
So
is the
if I am
decision of the
filing
consumer?
FIR, so many consumers here in Satara, they are violated.
No. Don't make it general. Let us make it specific.
Okay.
What is the outcome from the Consumer Commission? You let me know. Then I can advise you properly.
They said to file a suit in consumer court in Pune.
Yes.
special tribunal for regarding insurance policy?
No, not necessary. You can as well file a complaint in the Consumer Commission. If you don't accept the order, you can go further on appeal to the State Commission, because you need not spend any money on it.
Okay.
Suppose if you go to police station, this is not a criminal breach. How can you file an FIR on such things?
Okay. But sir, they are cheating them.
What kind of cheating? Can you establish that cheating?
They are those advertisements are given for the policy taking are not worked accordingly.
That is, you can as well fight this case in the Consumer Commission. That is my suggestion.
Okay.
Beyond that, if you go, you will be spending a lot of money, and ultimately, one day it proves that it is expensive for you.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Kamboj ma'am has joined.
Not yet. We
ma'am?
need
Yes,
to
I'm
encourage.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
One more question.
Okay.
I think these are the questions till now. I'm sure after the session, we'll be getting much more questions from the participants. Anyone wants to ask the question upfront right now?
So I have a question for Professor Vaishali Madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, do we have in your college a consumer club?
Sir, we are not having specifically a consumer club.
If it is not objectionable to your management, this consumer club definitely improves the insights about the consumer litigation.
Yes.
That is very important for youngsters nowadays. The previous speaker mentioned about the handles of the bag snapped. And where is the remedy? These are all the things that we can explain to the consumer club members.
Yes.
And you can also make some practical projects also with them. That gives good name for the college also. In Tamil Nadu, government gives license to the colleges only if they have a citizen consumer club in the college. That's where it is compulsory. But in Maharashtra and Karnataka, no compulsion. It is, but Government of India is promoting this. Consumer clubs in schools, consumer clubs in colleges. A kind of activity so that the next generation of students can become leaders.
Yes, sir. So we do conduct the activities on the various subjects, including the consumer protection.
Yes.
But as you suggested, yes, definitely, I'll take an initiative to establish this club, which will particularly be working for creating the consumer literacy in the various aspects.
Please do that, madam.
Yes, sir.
It's only my request to you. It
Yes, sir.
depends on your convenience, of course, but take permission from the management and see whatever best we can do.
Yes. Can we go to the next, the last session, as Dr. Kamboj ma'am had joined?
She is here.
Yes, sir. She had joined.
Wonderful. Welcome. Let her do
Yes.
that.
Yes, ma'am.
Namaste, ji.
Sakurakar ma'am, please introduce Dr. Kamboj ma'am so that we can start with her deliberations.
Sure, ma'am. Kamboj is a graduate admission legal scholar, professor.
We are not able to listen to the introduction.
Yeah. There is an interruption
Please
in
shut
on
your-
your audio.
Please shut your mic.
Am I audible? Audible?
There is an interruption, madam. Your voice is not clearly audible.
Is it audible now?
Even there is a breaking voice is there.
Okay. Is it perfect now?
Okay, please start. Yeah.
Just give me a second. Okay, I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, yes. Now your voice is quite clear.
Okay, great. So as I was saying that she has an experience of over 16 years as a teacher, not only as a scholar but also as an experienced academician. She completed her PhD in the year 2024 with a thesis titled Protection of Personal Data of Consumers with respect to online content, a comparative study of laws in India, the US, and the European Union. She previously obtained her LLM in corporate law and LLB from the Kurukshetra University and has qualified the UGC NET in the year 2010. Throughout her academic career, Dr. Kamboj has undertaken several administrative and academic responsibilities, including managing the legal aid clinics, serving on election, cultural placement, internship, and anti-sexual harassment committees, and convening the moot court activities at the institutions such as University of Delhi and the University of Rajasthan. She is also a trained mediator, NCPC, and has actively contributed to the policy discussions and consumer rights advocacy by submitting representations and proposals to various ministries, including the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Law and Justice, and the Supreme Court of India. Dr. Kamboj has authored 3 books, including lectures on law taught in the year 2017, Insurance Essentials in Bharat 2025, and InsurTech, a revolution. Yes, ma'am.
It's fine. It's like it more than enough. Please, I think I've already joined very late now, so let us like continue with the session.
Okay, ma'am, sure. The podium is all yours, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
I have shared
Namaskar.
your PPT, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you continue. I'll move the slides.
Okay, thank you so much,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank you so much for giving introduction about me. I'm Dr. Shekha Kamboj, and I'm teaching at Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. And this introduction is more than sufficient. And I am part of consumer advocacy group that's add on to my profile. And I'm here before you. I'm interacting with you all. It gives me privilege when I talk to people across the states about consumer awareness. And I want to create a spark amongst each one of you so that not only me, not only my student, not only few of us, you know, take this lamp ahead. I want everyone to be more, activist in form of a informed consumer, and I want you all to be an active participant. And you should not be a sleeping consumer. One should not act as a commodity. We all are consumers, and we should be aware of not only of our rights, and we should also have a check upon that whether the other people what are they doing, and whether they are actually acting on the laws which have been prescribed across the globe, in fact. Because when we talk about the data protection, especially the consumers, sky is the limit, because the market is open for everyone. We are sitting here in a small town, you are sitting in a big city. If somebody is sitting at a small village, they are buying from the big giant companies. They are all international companies, so you are interacting with the companies which are governed by the global laws and principle. So when you see that we all are in the age wherein everything is just a click away, because not only the people who are living in the cities, not only the people who are living in the metro cities, in fact all people, in fact not even the rickshaw wala is using the smart mobile phone, and he is ordering the things from his smart devices. He is not educated, but we are educated. There are many people who are educated like us. They may be more or they may be less educated, but you will find that people who are educated, they are also unaware. people who are educated and aware, they are also making such mistakes while using these smart devices. I will be talking about consumer rights in digital and global market. This is a broad concept which I have chosen. And as you can see that the next slide talks about the who's a digital consumer platform data collection. You can see there are many icons which are shown. There are many online platforms, they collect the data, they do the algorithm practices, and they personalize the profiling. And after personalizing they do profiling, and then they do target advertising, and they also have the digital transactions and interactions with those who have actually transacted at that time. Now, being a student of law, because I believe that many people in this group who are so ever are listening this webinar right now, they all must be from the legal background. Now think of the people who are not of legal background. They might not be knowing about that where my data is going, how they are doing, what they are doing with my data, and they might not be knowing about that this personalized, algorithm whatsoever they have made. What are they going to do with me? Because when my mobile phone is off, even then my data is being transmitted. So you will be wondering that how is it possible? And many a times we have cross-checked with many of the people who meet us, because I am working very, Murthy sir knows my initiatives. We have been interacted with many people across the cities through we have done many surveys, online surveys and offline surveys as well. We have just asked a simple question, and the same as question. Few of those questions I will circulate in this group as well. You just introspect within, आपको खुद को introspect करना है. Just ask yourself, how many of you are serious when you open an app, when you download an app in your mobile phone? Maybe it is a commercial app, maybe it is a app, social app. So when you open an app, when you download an app, you let's take an example of two of the apps. We will take one example of social app, and the other example of the of we can say Ola or Uber app or Blinkit, Snap, Zit. There are many apps. So we'll take random example of let's say we will not name the particular brand, because it will like that I'm doing branding job for them. So we will I will take name of King Tit. I'm just naming it a King Tit. So it is an app wherein you can just order the things, and that things will be delivered to your place. They are asking your location, the fine enough. They are asking so many things from you, fine enough. But the algorithm what they are preparing at the back, that is a quite questionable. They will whenever you open the app, the things will pop up, and you will be asked, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy this? You have ordered this earlier, you have ordered this, your basket is empty, you have not ordered last time you have ordered this thing. It is helping, but somehow they are also putting this thing in our mind that only few things are left, this is left, this is not available, it will be soon available. So many things comes up, and we are so quickly ordering the things because we are in so much hurry. We do not have time to go and to buy the things. We are not so much diligent while buying the things. We are not even checking upon the packets, that what kind of packets are being delivered to our places, whether they are having the expiry dates or not, whether like though there are expiry dates as such, but how many of we are checking upon, yes, the things what we have bought, they are actually fit to consume. We are not even cross-checking the prices. We are not cross-checking the whatever. So as a vigilant customers, I should do just at a click of button, because the services are being provided at my doorstep. I have become so much, busy nowadays. I am talking about from the side of a consumer. Now people are exploiting my busyness. People are exploiting that I don't want to go, I don't want to buy. Even if I'm having a time, I will not go at all. But I will just sit at my place in a comfortable space. I will take out my smart device. I will give all the accesses to them. I will give access to the camera. I will give access to the microphone. I will give access to the contact details. I will give access to the files at times. So we are giving the access to everything whatsoever is available in my mobile phone. So this is somehow puts a question to each one of us that whether the laws will protect me in case in case if my data is being taken away, and the data is being used or misused, and they are using and misusing my data, whether the whatever they are doing. Let's say that they say that they are using it for the purpose of giving me better services. So did I ask them to to use the data for that particular purposes? We are not even reading reading the document which is so provided to us in detail, that whether let's say that they are asking us that these things will be taken care taken to for the research purposes and all. So we are not even thinking of that, what kind of research they will do. We are not even thinking of. So this is what we are talking about ourselves, who are educated, who are informed. But there are many people who are not educated, who are educated but they are not informed. एंड जो लोग अनएजुकेटेड हैं उनकी तो इन्फॉर्मेशन और नॉन इन्फॉर्मेशन का कोई ऐसा खास फर्क पड़ता ही नहीं है, बिकॉज वो तो एक अलग सी अंधेरी दुनिया में है. दे आर लिविंग इन डार्क, लाइक you can say that. So but do we have laws? Yes, certainly, yes, we do have the laws. We have with us CPA, Consumer Protection Act 2019, though many amendments were made, but there are certain things which can be more improvised looking into the present scenario, plus e-commerce rules. And this CPA has talked about many a times. They have stressed on unfair trade practices, misleading ads, and mandates grievance officers of the platforms. DPDP Act, we do have DPDP Act, and it invalidates the consent obtained via manipulative UI, specific bans on behavior monitoring of the children. Everything is there, but actually, is it happening or not? We have seen in France that they have banned social platforms for the children below the age of 16. And Karnataka, kudos to Karnataka, they have taken an initiative that below the 16 years of age, they will check upon that the children of the below the age of 16, they won't be allowed the social apps. They won't be able to use the social apps. They will be putting some age bars, and how the age bars will be made, how the because everybody is having these smart devices, how they will be they will get to know that this person is of major age or of minor age. I may be using profile of my parents. I may be using the documents of my parent, whether they will be asking the real-time biometrics, or they will be just asking for a document which proves my age. So there are many things which will come as a hurdle to check upon that whether actually it is we are able to implement it in a right way or not, or it will just an eye wash. I should not say it an eye wash, but people are very smart enough. Children are very smart enough. This Gen Z, this Gen Alpha is really actually very smart. So how the government will tackle all these issues, that is again a problem. So for our major concerns are that we have seen that there are many dark patrons, that dark patrons are there, biased algorithms are there, unsecure data leaks are there. There are some spelling mistakes. Kindly please don't mind that. I will make a correction in the in the PD this PPT. Then I will circulate the fresh PPT. So if you want to save it, you can save it for the later purposes. So biased algorithm and dark patrons, I hope that in many of the webinars which have been conducted by the consumer advocacy group, they have discussed these points very, very broadly. And today, when I talk about the dark patrons, we have moved a representation before the Honorable Department of Consumer Affairs, and Nidhi Khare ma'am has taken the cognizance on it, that yes, there are certain dark patrons which need to be trapped and which need to be immediately stopped, because they are harassing the consumers to the next level. There are biased algorithms. Many of you might have witnessed and faced this kind of problem. Let us take a random example, that if I'm opening I want to book a cab, and if I want to book a cab from I do have like two mobiles phone with me. If I'm booking a cab from the Apple mobile, the fare of the cab will be little higher. And if I'm booking a cab from the Android mobile, and that too Android, they do have various versions. So from where they're getting to know such deep, algorithm metrics they have prepared, that they do know that what is the paying capacity of this person, This is the peak time. This is the tendency. They generally use this cab from this place to the other place. And this is the peak time. They will get the cab even if they are being asked to pay double the amount what generally it should be. So the isn't it the isn't it a dark pattern in a way wherein people like us informed, we all are informed, but we are at such stage wherein we are raising the complaint, we are asking that this is not done, this should not be there, but even then we cannot stop them. For example, for these dark patterns and biased algorithms, we have made a complaint to the Department of Consumer Affairs. 6 months have gone, but as such, no such action has been taken against those platforms which are charging to this extent. And moreover, there was a small thing what they have actually acted on, and they have the companies were very smart enough. They immediately took a cognizance to it, and they got scared, I suppose, because of that particular point. We have moved the representation asking for that how can you ask for the tip before I didn't enjoy the ride. I do not know that what kind of ride it will be, whether I will be having a comfortable ride or not. Just on the base of the algorithm, you have prepared a matrix which says that this madam is going to take the cab right now, and she will be going to her office immediately. And at this time, if she didn't bought the cab, she will be choosing the cab on priority, and she will be also asking for that, okay, you can charge 50 rupees extra, you can charge 100 rupees extra. So which you see tip. Earlier it was they were asking for tip. When we moved this representation, and we have moved this representation to the ministry also, and we are thankful to the law minister, he has taken the immediately action on it, and he said that the tip cannot be charged. It was a news, it made headlines, but later on the companies are actually very smart. They changed the language. They said we are not asking tip, we are asking you to add on services. So we are being compelled to add on the amount. Now this add-on is also very smart. Now this algorithms games plays they play very smart. So let us say that I'm booking a cab from Android phone, and that I'm booking an auto rickshaw. So the add-on will start from rupees 10, and the maximum it will go to 50 or 60. And if I'm booking a small cab, eco cab, then the price will start from 15, 20, 30. Means the add-ons will start as per the kind of taxi or cab I'm going to book. So if I'm going to book a priority sedan, and the best of the cab whatsoever they have available they have available with them, so they will ask to add on 50 rupees, 60 rupees, 70 rupees. It will be a starting amount. And now my worry is, if I do not add on, nobody will take the cab, nobody will accept the ride. We have seen that there are, not only in fact me, many of you might have faced this problem, must be facing this problem. There will be 10 of the cabs will be shown that it is in your location. The moment you will try to book the cab, nobody will accept the booking until unless you add on, you add an I should call it a tip, but they call it add-on. Until unless I click the add-on, they will not take the ride. So this is the problem what as a consumer, as a genuine consumer, I'm facing. Raise the voice. Let us, these people from Satara, from the other district, from the other states, make a complaint, burning complaint on the same issue. I can share the representation to the principal madam, to the consumer advocacy group, and we can move together to stop these bad algorithm practices what these companies have started. And they have they are treating the consumers not as consumers, rather they are treating the consumers as a commodity. So we need to check upon that how these bad practices can be stopped. See, there are laws. No, it is not disputed at all. We do have the laws, but where is the protection? How many of us have the times to to go to file the complaints? There are like lakhs of people who are using the Uber and Ola on daily basis. Frequently cabs are being booked. Frequently add-ons are being, asked to, in case if we are not adding, they will not, let us to enjoy the ride, because they will not come at your place at all. They will not accept the ride. So isn't it a exploitation to the consumers? Yes, it is. How many of us have moved the representation? How many of us have made the complaint? We might have discussed it over a cup of tea with our friends. We might have, shown our anguish amongst each other. These days, these people are, befooling us. Thankfully, we have a Bharat Taxi app now, because the Bharat Taxi has been launched by the Central Ministry of Transportation, and recently this app has been launched as a pilot project in 2 of the states. So let us see that how it will work. Government has taken the initiative, and the government is not asking for add-on services. Government is not asking for there is no as such commission base as Uber and Ola do charge. Other and these commercial apps do charge certain amount as a commission from the consumers. So as such, but how many of us are going to accept it? It is us who has to promote these government initiatives. So my point here is to sensitize you all that yes, if we talk about the law, yes, there is a law, but how many of us are going to move ahead to compel these companies to stop doing, to be too afraid of these particular laws, which can grab them and which can force them that you should not exploit the consumers to this extent, otherwise it will be the repercussions. Now the point is, there are many laws: GPDP Act, Information Technology Act, Consumer Protection Act. They talk about the cyber security. There are many other laws as well in collaboration. That yes, that there are so many things which can be done for the protection of the consumers. But we consumers have to raise our voices. We have seen that people like us, the educated people, the people from the legal background. Do you think that people from the legal background are not using these Ola Uber apps? Do you think that people are not using these social apps? Of course, we all are using it. We all are getting exploited on daily basis. But how many of us are raising our voices? How many of us are asking the government that please ask these companies, they should not do this, they should not do that. This is the exploitation of consumers. This is the violation of this particular law. They should not do. But why they are doing? Because they are doing, because they are not being grabbed. Now, government is, of course, now there will be a question that why the government do not take an action on its own when such things are happening. And of course, the people who are sitting in the government, they must be facing the same problem. But why they are not putting their voices into it? Yes, of course, they will act, but doesn't mean now that I will not move my shoulder. I will keep it freeze. I will not ask I will not do anything. I will just sit idle. No, we should not. At least some representation should move. Some noise should come. Some articles, some things should be, something should be done. As we thankful to Satara, they principal, that they have taken the initiative to have such webinar in collaboration with the consumer advocacy group. That Murthy sir, that they have taken the initiative that the voice should reach to the Satara also with regard to the consumer activism. We have not to fight with anyone. Because one single person cannot fight at all, and we are not here to fight. We are just here to tell that this is the anguish, this is the problem what we are facing, this is the law. Now please bridge it, please see that what can be done. And as far as we people are concerned, it is our responsibility also to be little more aware about. We should not use these smart devices blindly. We should be we should check upon that what information access I am giving, whether it is a breach of privacy or not. So we should be more vigilant and vigilant also. Now, many a times I have seen people give consent to contact. Yes, you can give consent to your own contact, but what they will do with the contacts which are available in my mobile phone? People who are not using my mobile, they are not using the services which I am going to use in my mobile phone. But even those contacts are being gone. Those people will also get the information. They will also get the notification, because once the data has been leaked, once the data reaches to the company, they will not even think of that these contacts. Let us assume Smurti sir, your principal madam, Vishali madam, Jadhav madam, she will get the messages immediately from from a particular brand which I am using. Now madam will think of that I have never used this brand, then why this information is coming to me. Let us assume that if she comes to Delhi sometime, and when she stepped into Delhi and the local restaurant people, they started contacting her, they started texting her, messages are being thrown to her, WhatsApp pay messages are being thrown to her because they have seen her location. Now she has moved from that place to this place. Now Shikha madam has already shared the contact because of the she was using this particular app and the app demanded the contact to be given. When she stepped into Delhi, immediately the people, the radar got moved. The artificial intelligence is so much intelligent that they immediately got to know that Dr. Vishali has come to Delhi. Now let us bombard her with the advertisements. Let us bombard her with the advertisement of this, with the Zomato, with these particular restaurants. The advertisement of the restaurants will pop in up. Now Blinkit will pop in up because I am a frequent user of Blinkit, frequent user of some other apps also. Now Vishali ma'am will think of, I'm just giving a real example. She will think of that I have never used these things. Why these things are coming to me as an advertisement? When she will open her Facebook, because the data is being transferred. So even if she is not having WhatsApp in her mobile phone, let us assume. If she is not having Zomato in her mobile phone, she will get these advertisements on whatsoever social media she will open. If she is opening Facebook, she will get a notification, वहां पे भी तो advertisement आता है ना, so she will get the advertisements over there. So this is what. So had she given her consent? Had she given her consent? Simple answer is no. So we have also to think about that if somebody is being asked to share by these apps contacts, so that contact should be only my contact who is going to use that particular app. That contact should not be whatsoever contacts are being on my mobile phone. They are being, they are asking that yes, you can, madam, you want to share the notification, you want to get the notification. Okay, that is fine. They play very smart. फिर उसमें privacy में आएगा, privacy policy, it's a लंबा document, है ना, long document. You cannot understand whatsoever they have written. Can you imagine that the people of whosoever educated दो parts में divide नहीं करना है, हमें 4 parts में divide करना है. Informed consumer, uninformed consumer. फिर informed consumer में भी वो consumer, the one who is active, the one who is non-active. और uninformed consumer में तो active का तो कोई बहुत मुश्किल है, कोई एक आधा विजिलेंट हो, लेकिन नॉन, मैक्सिमम पीपल नॉन ही मिलेंगे इसमें, जिनको पता ही नहीं है. So the point here is that we have to think of, now I have shown it with the help of a slide, that algorithm profiling कैसे करते हैं, how do they do algorithm profiling. Then from click to consent, rethinking informed consent in e-commerce transactions. So are we actually giving the consent? Are we actually giving the consent? Something which we haven't read, something which we haven't understood. And they should give us time at least, isn't it? So my representation, one of the representation has also talked about when I was doing my PhD on DPDP Act. So I have moved an representation to the ministry, MIT, that sir, how is it possible that I am opening an app, I want to download an app, and they ask me privacy policy and asking my consent for. So isn't it that they should give me some time to read and to analyze the document? So they say that, are they forcing you to give an immediate consent? Can't you open the complete document and read it? I said, okay, if they are not asking me, they are not compelling me कि इसको आप immediately consent करो, लेकिन उनको ये तो पता है ना कि इन्होंने 2 मिनट में document नहीं पढ़ा होगा. She must not have read the document in 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Then why they are allowing me to access the app then? They should not allow me to access the app. They should ask certain questions on the basis of the privacy document. And if I'm able to answer those crucial questions, only then they should allow me to download the app. Because as we all know, people who are from legal background, they must be knowing that consent means free consent, consent means knowledgeable consent. If I do not know a particular document, So can it be said that you have clicked the consent button? So how can you say that you do not know about? So now again, let the buyers be aware that it will be a responsibility of the buyer that they should be aware of whatsoever privacy documents they were being asked to study. Okay, fine enough. I'm below the age of 18. Now let's talk about the consent. Mohri Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghosh case, as we all know, this is the basic case which we have studied in the consent. That a consent is said to be free when it is free from, but also along with that a consent obtained by fraud. Isn't it a fraud that you are obtaining a consent from a children of who is below the age of 18? It is a contract void ab initio. It will not result into any legal binding, but you are using the algorithms, you are you are collecting the data. Let us assume if my son who is just 14 years of age and he is clicking on the consent button, so they do not know that whether this children has actually got to know what privacy document he has actually consented for, and it is a legal binding document on that particular children. Now the point was that whether this children who is below the age of 18 years, he can be actually binded by the terms of the agreement, terms and condition, whatsoever you have written in your privacy document. Isn't it a contract which says that it's a void ab initio agreement? It cannot be enforced. And if you are using the data whatsoever was available in his mobile phone, will it not attract the legal penalties against you? So, but how many of us are going to complain? We do not know. It is such a dark world. We do not know even that what they are going to do with our data. Now, in the world of artificial intelligence, what they are using my voices, they are using my face. You might have seen people are so crazy about that whenever such certain social apps comes up and they ask you, would you like to कौन सा था वो गिगिलो क्या बना देखने, not गिगिलो, what was that? There was some recently some app was ना which was आपका कार्टून पिक्चर बन जाएगा, उससे कार्टून पिक्चर बन जाएगा, फिर उसमें there were certain things, आप खुद का फोटो डालो and see yourself in the various Indian and Western dresses, how you will look in this particular dress, you can and how you will look into this particular hairstyles. Many of the women have have shared their biometrics, they have shared their so many of images, and they might not be knowing even that where those images have been used, where those images are going, because they have given their consent that this image can be used, and they do not know even that they have already given their consent for. So let's move ahead with the uploading content is not violation of privacy or not. So I have already talked about this. Data is consideration. Consumer data is the new currency in the online market. So this is, I talk very fondly on this. The data as a consideration. Do you think anybody is going to give you anything for free? No. Whatever, our elders used to say that there is nothing which comes for free. Nothing. Nothing comes
Sorry
for
to
free.
interrupt you, ma'am. Can we go to the conclusion so that we can take questions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm just going to wind up my PPT now, because I have already spoken about almost all the slides. So I will speak a little just for 1 minute on this data as a consideration. So when we talk about that, yes, data as a consideration they are using, but we have not been told about that they are using this data as a consideration. If they would have asked me that I'm sorry. If they would have asked me that we are going to use this data as a consideration, so many of us will say that this particular data of mine is very, very important. This is very, very expensive. So then in that case, so we will put a price on the data, na? In that case, so why should I will be giving my data for free? I will be pricing my data then in that case. So this is something we should be aware of, that yes, data as a consideration is being used, but we need to put we need to check upon that whether yes, there are certain ministries which are collectively working on it, that whether the data can be charged, whether data can be priced or not. And then of course it will be a very big problem for the government also to fix on that how you can price your data, whether it will be allowed individually or whether it will be allowed collectively. So that has to be seen. Taxable का भी question है इसमें, that data can be taxed or not. So AI driven e-commerce and consumer privacy are at the verge of leakage ही है सब कुछ. As such तो कुछ protection तो बहुत rare cases में ही है. There are so many challenges which we faces in the digital marketing areas. We do have this pyramid shows that we do have DPDP Act, we have IT Act, we have Consumer Protection Act. Rights and consents, penalties are there, but there are non-compliance to the penalties. अगर penalties की बात सुने तो पूरी कंपनी एक दिन में खत्म हो जाएगी. 250 crores and above का जो है उसमें वो है penalty है. So we can have stronger consent rules, regulation of the dark patterns. I'm on the last slide. Future of digital consumer laws, AI governance, ODR for consumers, online dispute resolution. It means we can also harbor with the global regulations, and we should also think of the more stronger consent rules. Not only think of this only because company will not do at its own. The government has to ask the companies that you should make certain things, as I have given a random example with regard to that. I should not be allowed to download the app until unless I'm able to answer the questions from the privacy document. So stronger consent rules, regulation of dark patterns, AI transparency. We are talking about AI transparency, but it is going to be a very, very tedious job because global market there are many international companies, very international laws. So it will be a problem, but somehow we have to work on. And digital consumer education. So with the help of such webinars, such more informative, things, we can actually do certain things which can help the consumers to be more aware. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for discussing the importance of safeguarding consumer data and maintaining the privacy in digital age, which has been very extremely valuable. We will now open the forum for question and answer section. Participants who have any questions or would like further clarification on the topics which have been discussed today are invited to post them in the chat box, or they can use the raise the hand feature. Our speakers here will be happy to address their queries. Yes, please. Either post it on the chat box or raise the hand feature is also enabled.
Can you please write your question? I'm not able to hear you.
Ma'am, the questions are not yet being posted by anybody. We are waiting the participants to raise the question.
Your voice is breaking, ma'am. Yes, all the participants. Now the platform is open for question and answer session. In between, we took one question.
So in the meantime, people are framing their question. I will just request all these 55 people whosoever are there in the webinar. I will just request that please look into your smart devices and do check all the apps, all the inbuilt apps and all the apps which you have downloaded in your mobile phone, that what kind of access you have already given to them and what kind of access which was already given when you purchase the mobile phone. So at least this small exercise will help you to control your data transfers, because many of you might not be knowing about that you have already given access to your microphone, you have given access to your camera, you have given access to your documents, so ever are available in your mobile phone. So certain things which need to be checked upon by each one of us, at least after this webinar, we can do this exercise and it will help us to protect our data.
Sure, ma'am. We have the first question from Sonakshi ma'am. Ma'am, please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. My first question is to Professor Dr. K. Ramamohan Rao, sir. Sir, do you think there are two types of markets, perfect market and monopoly market? So and there is this problem among consumers, they are finding it very hard to make a choice. So do you think monopoly market is a solution to this?
As Ram Mohan Rao sir left the webinar, you are asking me whether monopoly is a better alternative.
Yes, sir.
It cannot be an alternative. Perfect market will not exist, though in theory it is mentioned. So the wisdom should be with the consumer. Wherever the prices are low or wherever the standards are high, basing on that only you'll have to purchase the goods. But you are literally going on theory, asking us about the alternative markets. That those markets actually for the present country consumer protection, these distinctions are not at all relevant. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, please check the questions from YouTube chat box as well. Yes, all the participants. Yes, Sonakshi ma'am, please continue. You want to ask one?
Yes. Another question for Sita Kamboj, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes, Dr.
Shikha Kamboj, ma'am. I really like the way she presented today. And my question is, she was talking about those deep fakes, like putting our data in chat GPT and deep fake those, and they will transform everything to something else. So I am being a bit open. There was this app which was very vulgar, like kiss your crush kind of. I'm being very open, sorry for that. It was something like that. So this is harming the youth of the nation. So would you like to throw some light on them?
See, Sonakshi, not only this app, I will just give an example of. Before few days, we had an AI summit in Delhi, and I have gone there. So I got attracted to a voice, and I got too much attracted to the voice because that voice was very familiar to me since my childhood, and I just wanted to relocate and recollect my memories also. And for that particular reason, I wanted to reach to that booth, that from where this voice is coming. And I immediately rushed to that particular booth. I will not name the booth, but when I reached there, I found that that person is not there. So I was, I was blank. I thought that when he's not here, so why I'm hearing this kind of voice which is so much familiar to him, so much familiar to him. So I was, I kept on thinking. Then I saw that where I'm standing at a world, at a platform wherein artificial intelligence driven characters are there. Someone is Arjun, someone is Krishna, Lord Krishna, someone is playing the role character of Yudhishthir, Draupadi, etc., etc. So everybody has got a face. All AI characters have got a face. All AI characters have got a voice. They have got the voice modulation also. Everybody's style is different. See, your Vishali ma'am is speaking in a different way, but she's having her own style. Murthy sir is having his own style. Sonakshi is having his own style. Aditi is having her own style. Manjusha is having her own style. है ना? So after listening to many of you, like if you will call me and I'm not able to see your face, but even then I will recollect that this is this person, because I am now used to the hear the modulation, because I know that this is the voice of this person. Now my question, my mere question mein aapka answer, from where these people have got the faces, from where these people have got the voice, from where these people have got the style, modulation, कैसे आया, कहाँ से आया, किसने दिया? तो वो जो करेक्टर है, वो प्ले जो कर रही हैं, वो कहाँ से है? उसमें आवाज सोनाक्षी की है, उसमें चेहरा वैशाली मैम का है, उसमें आंखें शिखा मैम की लगी होंगी, है ना? उनको लगा, एआई को लगा कि नाक मूर्ति सर का बहुत अच्छा है, इस करेक्टर को नाक मूर्ति सर का दे दो। सबका मिला जुला के एक चेहरा बनाया, ठीक है, सबका मिला जुला के एक शरीर बनाया, और वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन की। मैडम की आवाज अच्छी है, लेकिन बोलने का स्टाइल ना वैशाली मैम का अच्छा है, चलो बोलने का स्टाइल वैशाली मैम का दे दो, ठीक है। तो स्माइल तो मैडम की अच्छी है, लेकिन गुस्सा जो है इनको जो है इस इनका दे दो, एक्स का दे दो, वाई का दे दो, जेड का दे दो। ये सब आ कहाँ से रहा है? फ्रॉम वेयर दिस आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज गेटिंग डेटा? कहाँ से आ रहा है सब कुछ? ये हमारा और आपका ही तो है।
Yes.
हैव दे आस्क्ड? हमारा जब इन्होंने डाटा लिया और ये जो इन्होंने सब कमर्शियल यूज किया, और इससे जो इतने सारे लाखों करोड़ों रुपए ये लोग जो कमाएंगे, है ना, ये सब कहाँ जाएगा? पैसा इनके पास जाएगा ना, दे विल बी मेकिंग द मनी आउट ऑफ इट। पहले क्या होता था ना कि अगर कोई कार्टून करेक्टर भी है तो उसमें डबिंग होती थी, आर्टिस्ट डबिंग करते थे और आर्टिस्ट को उसकी पेमेंट मिलती थी। अभी डबिंग की जरूरत नहीं है, अभी तो एवरीथिंग विल बी डन बाय द आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस। And from where they are getting the voices, from where they are getting the styles, from where they are getting the, you know, everything, they are using the artificial intelligence for it, and that too without my permission. And but अब बात करवाते हैं ना कि दिया किसने? हमने खुद तो दिया ना, कंसेंट दिया ना, it will be used, it will be used. लेकिन maximum of the app is that it will be used for the for what? It will be used for the research purposes. It will not be used for the commercial purposes. Then again, there is a point when it was asked that it will not be used for the commercial purposes. अब बात ये आती है कि मैं ढूंढूंगी कैसे कि किसने मेरी मेरी आवाज का कमर्शियल यूज किया है? हाउ आई विल कैच ऑन? बिकॉज इट्स अ डार्क वर्ल्ड। वो तो गुम हो गया कहीं पर, किसने यूज किया, कितना यूज किया, कितना नहीं यूज किया, वो तो पता नहीं है ना, यू नेवर नो, ढूंढ ही नहीं पाओगे। मैं तो फिर ये बोलती हूँ, बी अ विजिलेंट एंड डिलीजेंट, यू नो, कंज्यूमर। बहुत सोच समझ के। जब मैं देखती थी ना फेसबुक पर या दूसरी जो एप्स के ऊपर लोगों ने अपने वो कार्टून वाली फोटो इमेजेस वगैरह डाले और इतना खुश हो रहे सब लोग, मैं सोच रही हूँ देखो कितने पागल लोग हैं, ठीक है। और फिर मैंने एक दिन देखा कि सो एंड सो पीपल, ठीक है, इतने बड़े बड़े जो हैं लोग, पढ़े लिखे लोग, है ना, वाइस चांसलर तक लोगों ने खींच दिया फोटो, बना दिया फोटो। And I was wondering, yaar, how is it possible that they do not know even that they are sharing their biometrics with them? They are sharing their private photographs with them. है ना? तो ये जो आप कह रहे हो ना, ये गलती तो हम लोगों की ही है ना। और फिर लेकिन हमें कहाँ चेकअप ऑन करना है? अब बहुत जरूरत है। एआई लॉ तो खैर तो आए, साथ में ये भी लेकर आए कि जो डाटा ऑलरेडी जा चुका है, कॉमर्शियल पर्पसेस तो उसका हो ही रहा है ना, किसका 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 नहीं किया वो बात अलग है, बट दे शुड ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर फीस to the government. They should give particular amount to the government. At least the government will use that particular fund for the welfare of the society at large. आप समझ रहे हो बात को? मान लो कोई एआई मूवी आती है और एआई मूवी में कैरेक्टर्स भी हैं, एआई मूवी में which are more like original character only, है ना? तो वो सब पैसा भी कमा रही है, इस तरह की मूवीज पैसा भी बहुत कमाएंगी, आगे फ्यूचर तो इन्हीं चीजों का है ना। अब वो जब पैसा कमाएंगी तो वो पैसा, अब वो तो कहेंगे जी ये तो हमने एआई से कराया। भैया एआई के पास आया कहाँ से, ये बताओ? एआई के पास आया कहाँ से है? मतलब ये लिया तो इन लोगों से ही है ना, जनता से लिया है ना। हम जनता आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पा रही है मेरा क्या लिया, क्या नहीं लिया। तो ठीक है, वो पैसा गवर्नमेंट को दो, और गवर्नमेंट जो है फिर उस रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करके फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ द स्टेट उसको पैसे को यूज करे। तो दैट पर्टिकुलर इज ऑल्सो, यू नो, यहाँ पे एक स्कोप है कि उसके ऊपर ऐसे चेकअप ऑन कर सकते हैं अब तक जो जा चुका है। है और फ्यूचर में जो जाएगा उसके लिए एक बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट लॉ लेकर आने की जरूरत है। उसमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ रिसर्च पर्पज से लिखोगे, आप उसमें क्लासिफाई करोगे ABCD, और मुझे अगर बेचना होगा ना अपना डेटा, तो मैं उसके लिए खुद प्राइस करूंगी दैट हाउ मच आई विल चार्ज। आई
Okay.
होप आई एम able to satisfy your
Yes,
question.
yes. Thank you so
Yes.
much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Very true, Dr. Shikha ma'am, actually. So the main gist of her session is wherein she has shared very much real-time illustrations. But we should not be blindly sharing our data, as we are leaving large digital footprints. And from the existing cases or the happenings which has been or which are even right now happening around us, we should be very careful whenever any private data we are sharing on this platform. Yes, ma'am. Satara ma'am. Yes, thank you, Shikha ma'am.
Ma'am, I had a question. I might be diverting a bit from the consumer aspect here. But ma'am, जैसे आपने अभी बताया थोड़े examples wherein, there has been a challenge for the creators with respect to whatever they are creating. The entire idea of a creator or an inventor or a content creator has changed with respect to the intellectual property rights. So my question here is, there is a necessity to change the consumer related laws. Yes, agreed. But do you think there is also a necessity to rephrase or reframe the entire intellectual property laws as well in connection with the AI generated or the AI generated content? Because now the whole idea of creator itself has been mistaken.
See, what did you ask that we need to change the what? Which law?
Property
I'm
law.
not able to hear you. IPR.
IPR, yeah.
Okay, see, it will be a hurricane task. So what we can do is that at least what the laws which have not come in picture yet, but they are being, in the process of preparation. So what we can do is a part related to that particular law can be implied interpretation can be done, which can help to understand the present scenario problems. And also we can also think of that how in this AI driven industry we are in, see the artists, they do earn from their art only, and if you will cheat them like this, you of course they will be workless, and when they will be workless, they will be doing then. So at least there should be some provision should be there which should talk with regard to the protection of their rights in totality. And sincerely, yes, we need to change. Not only we need not to only introduce one particular law, we need to moderate and also to add on some more interpretations to the present statutes which are somehow related to the, because it's kind of umbrella statute होता है ना जैसे, तो वो उसका यही पार्ट है उसका, उसको उससे हम कोई भी एक स्टेट्यूट, जैसे अब ये कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन को उन्होंने चेंज किया 2019 में लेकर आए, लेकिन 19 से अब 2026 में कितना बदलाव आ गया है. So we of course we need to bring some harbor changes along with bringing a AI law, and we need to work on it. Yes.
That's correct, ma'am. Thank you so much for your guidance. If we do not have any other question, this brings us to the end of the webinar, which is truly incomplete without expressing the heartfelt gratitude towards the speakers and the organizing team. I would like to now call upon Ms. Sonachi Lahiri, Consumer Advocacy Group, to deliver the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this enriching webinar on consumer rights in digital and global market. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. K. Rama Mohan Rao, former Vice Chairman of APSCHE, Government of Andhra Pradesh, for delivering such an insightful and thought-provoking address. Your valuable perspectives on consumer rights in the contemporary digital economy have truly enlightened all of us. I would also like to express our sincere thanks to our distinguished resource person, Dr. Shikha Kamboj, Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Law, University of Delhi, and Mr. Krishna Mohan KS, Admin Consumer Advocacy Group, for sharing their expertise and practical insights. Your informative sessions have deepened our understanding of consumer protection in an increasingly globalized and digital marketplace. Our special thanks go to Dr. PVVS Murthy sir, founder of the Consumer Advocacy Group and renowned consumer rights activist, whose constant efforts and dedication towards consumer awareness continue to inspire many. I would also like to acknowledge Professor Dr. Vaishali V. Jadhav, Principal of Ismailsaheb Mulla Law College, Satara, for her warm welcome and for supporting initiatives that promote academic dialogue and awareness on such important issues. I extend my appreciation to the Consumer Advocacy Group for collaborating in organizing this meaningful program and for promoting consumer education. My sincere thanks to CS Nivedita Kitkar Sakhalkar, HOD, Department of LLM, the moderator of today's session, for smoothly guiding the proceedings and ensuring the success of this webinar. I would also like to thank the organizing committee, faculty members, and technical team for their dedicated efforts in arranging this event. Last but not the least, I express my gratitude to all the participants for joining us today, and I hope that you will be joining such sessions more in the future. And I request all of you to join our consumer advocacy group. I conclude the session by once again thanking all the dignitaries and participants for their valuable presence. Thank you, everyone.
With this, we officially conclude today's webinar. Thank you once again to our esteemed speakers, the organizing team, and all the participants for making this session informative and engaging. We look forward to your active participation in our future events as well. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Murthy sir. Thank you, Kamboj ma'am. Thank you,
Thanks,
Sonakshi.
ma'am.
So we are ending the meeting.